Hey guys, and welcome to the Outdoor Life channel. Today we're going to talk about a new product from Australia that is available here in the United States. It's called the Lifedoo Grill and Fire Pit. Now it does two things, and it does them very well. It's a grill and it's a fire pit. It's that simple. The one nice thing that I like about it, as you'll see in the video coming up, it comes very flat. It breaks down into almost just a couple of inches tall, and that makes it really easy to put inside of your hatches on your travel trailer or in your car if you're car camping, because you've got limited space for that kind of stuff. Now, I did run across one issue that has been noted on several other videos, but I came up with a solution for it, and the solution works really well. I'll show you towards the end of the video. Now, it does come with these three cross members, and I found that it only needed the one, so I'm only showing you with it one installed. And the one thing that really impressed me is that it came with this tray, because I've seen some without the tray, and there was a lot of coals, as you'll see in the upcoming video, a lot of coals that did fall out through the bottom onto the tray. So for fire prevention and easy cleanup, that was awesome. The other thing that I noticed is it came with this bag. This bag was not on a lot of other videos, but putting everything inside here made it really super easy to carry it and to put it inside of your camper or your car. Now let's take a look at how this thing goes together. As you can see here, we have a typical fire pit. This is what you would normally see floating around at the campsites and different campgrounds and things like that. And as you can tell, it's a lot. There's just a lot here. You've got your propane, you've got all your rocks that you have to deal with on the inside. And what I wanted to show you was, this is the smallest that this typical fire pit will get. And the Lifedoo is much smaller. So let's take a look at what the Lifedoo looks like. All right, here's the Lifedoo. As you can tell, packed up is really tiny. You saw earlier where it was all put together. Now we're going to show you how to put it together. But what I really wanted to make the impact is that when you're storing this in your RV, your car, or your truck, or what have you, it's super small, it's super thin. And as you can see here, if I pick it up, I mean, it has a footprint like that, but look at the side of this. This is super, super thin. Everything fits inside of the tray. So let's take a look at that real quick. Let's pull everything out and see what we have here. So that's it. So everything is right there inside that tray, as you can see. Super easy, super tiny, super small. And it'll slide right into your, underneath your bunks or into your storage bins. And it's out of the way. It's just not as bulky as some of these other ones are. All right, so let's take, here's our grilling grate. This is our grate for our charcoal or our firewood. Here we have the front and the rear. They're exactly the same. We have the crossbars for the grilling grate. And then we have our two pieces for the sides. These are gonna go just like this, and it's all gonna go together. Now the way this works is you have these tabs here. So you have this set with this set right here. So this one and the bottom one. This puts it at a steep angle. Then when you go to the outer slots, this puts it at a wider angle. Now, I like it on the steeper angle for the fact that it concentrates the heat more into the center where I'm cooking. But when you go wider, you can even get really big pre-cut firewood logs goes right inside there, and you've got plenty of room to put two, maybe even three of them in there. So they give you those two options, which is really cool. And as far as the bottom goes, on the front and the back, you have these holes here. So when this is sideways this way, it'll fit either here, or if it's on the steep side, it'll go down into the bottom here. And I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, now let's put it together real quick. So now we have our base made. Now we put in our catch grate for the bottom. So as you can see, I have it in the steep format, and as you can see how that just sits right in there. And if you have the wider format, then you would use the other holes. Now, as far as the fire pit's concerned, boom, we're done. This is all you need to do. Everything's gonna go inside here. It's all gonna fall out onto this tray, which is really super sweet. And like I mentioned before, having the tray and the bag, those are two new items that I haven't seen in the first edition of this, but it's super that they've added it in here, because it does help protect your tabletop or your picnic bench or even the grass. Or if you're boondocking, it helps keep everything out of the grass. The nice thing about it too is that now everything is contained with a catch. There are some states that during fire bans will allow this kind of a grill or a fire pit. But you need to check your local ordinances and make sure that you're not violating them. But having this all contained like this, it will help you in some areas. Now, as far as the grilling is concerned, that's where this comes in. So we're gonna put our grilling grate right on top, and it's gonna sit in there just nice and simple. Now, the one thing that I did have an issue with is that these handles just sit right on the raw metal right up here, and it slides back and forth. And when I had some sticky stuff I was trying to get on, it would try to slide around a little bit. So what I did is I took a file, and I'll show you this in just a minute. I took a file and I filed little notches right here on both sides. And then this handle right here fits right inside that notch, just like that. And now it doesn't go back and forth anymore. So it's nice and solid on there. Now I want to take a minute and show you the modification that I made. And that is right here. You can see these little grooves right here. So what I did was I just took a simple file and I filed it down. The metal's pretty soft. And now the grilling grate sits right into it, just like I showed you. Now, as far as the stability is, so you still have the issue if you put some food on the backside, and that's why they gave you these to slide in right here, because this will eliminate it. So if we put these in, these little cross members right here, just like so, super, super easy. So now when you put food on here, everywhere you put it, it's stable. So now they did give you 3, but one of the things that I learned was I really only needed just the 1. So with 1 on here, I'm still super stable. It doesn't move around at all. And I'm pretty happy with that. So now I have a grill. I can get 6 burgers on here easily, some nice steaks and corn. And here in a bit, I'll show you a steak and some potatoes that I grilled out at a campsite.
Excellent. As you saw, that was pretty easy. And you saw how flat it was. So that's a really big deal, because you're not carrying around a huge barbecue. And this has got plenty of room on here for 4 burgers, even 6 burgers without any problems, a couple of steaks and stuff like that. Now let's take a look at the next video, which we're gonna grill some steak and some cut up potatoes. All right, so let's load this up. Thank you, Lifedoo, for a wonderful dinner. The grill worked out really well. I'm very happy with it. It's a completely 100 thumbs up for me. Time to eat. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we did set it up in the regular mode. It does have a wider mode for a fire pit, and we're going to show you that video here in a few minutes. And the fire pit works out really well too. It's a nice place just to kick back with your feet up and a beer in your hand and watch the fire. Now, the cool thing about it is that because it's in a controlled environment, not a fire pit, there's some states that will allow fires in these, but not a fire pit. But you need to check your state regulations to find out what open fires you can and cannot do, especially during the burn season. So that's another plus. And again, I'm gonna mention it does 2 things really, really well. 1, it cooks, it's a grill. 2,
it's a fire pit. So now let's take a look at the fire pit video. All right guys, now as you saw, this is a killer little setup. I recommend it for just about anybody that wants a small grill or a small fire pit or both. This is a good addition to your arsenal of camping gear, and for me, it's a must-have on all my trips.